Every life has that one special moment, one that breaks everything down into before and after. Sometimes it pops up as a whisper. Sometimes it's a big storm. This tale starts in a cozy little village right here in India. A place where the sea wasn't just some watery thing. It was life itself. It nourished families. It created dreams. And for all those years, it picked out the ones who made it. The village was simple and small. It was made up of just a few thatched roof dwellings nestled along a tight-knit path. The trees nearby swayed softly in the breeze. Every morning, a tantalizing aroma of salt and damp earth filled the air. The majority of people in the village relied on fishing and farming for their livelihood. They didn't have much of anything, but they had each other. Among them was a young man named Arjun. Arjun wasn't wealthy. He owned a modest house right by the coastline. The walls were worn, and the roof had seen its fair share of storms. But it was a place to call home. Arjun held strong beliefs in hard work, and he carried on the traditions set by his father before him. He had faith in the sea. One night, as the boat rocked gently on the water, one of them spoke. "Have you noticed something? We are getting old. And none of us are married." The laughter stopped. Faces turned serious. One by one, they realized he was right. Life was moving forward, and they were standing still. Within 1 year, everything changed. Weddings filled the village. Laughter echoed through the streets. Arjun found love. And for the first time, life felt complete. But happiness brings responsibility. And responsibility brings fear. So, one night, Ronnie had a chat with them. "Hanging out on our own isn't fun anymore," he started. "We've got families now, you know." He then tossed in, "We could go abroad and try our luck there." Ronnie grinned. "Maybe we should try learning how to drive." Before he could even finish, they said, "Are you kidding us? Those people drive themselves around." Ronnie just chuckled. He said calmly, "Later on, I'm getting into a driving school." The next day, Ronnie wasn't on a boat. Weeks later, they saw him driving around in a car. 2 months had passed. Then, Ronnie said goodbye. And that's when it happened. One of them took a different path. 2 years passed since then. Arjun became a dad for real. And his baby was just little. Yup, pretty fragile. Lovely, though. But life had started getting expensive. The fish were less. And the money wasn't so great. One day, his sweet wife just said something gentle. "Why don't you go on abroad, you know, just like Ronnie?" Arjun looked at her and hesitated. "I really don't want to leave my family," he whispered. That night, the sky had a whole different look. It was pouring with rain. The wind was loud and not nice. And there were flashes of lightning. The roof started to shake. The house just shook. The mom held her baby close. They all got wicked scared, frustrated, desperate, helpless. Morning finally came, and with it the undeniable damage. The wife, unable to bear the sight of the broken house, decided to head to Arjun's sister's place until the issue is resolved. Treading closely, she ventured alone in the desolate dwelling, searching for some sense of stability. Alone, he navigated through the mess, his heart heavy with the realization that his family's safety was now in jeopardy. Gradually, he started to understand the gravity of the situation as he observed the broken remnants of the house. Although hard to accept, the knowledge that his family could potentially stay safe after some days made him realize that she needed to find a way to help them. With determination in her heart, she decided to return, hoping her presence would act as a source of comfort and stability for her family. During the subsequent days, Arjun made a courageous decision to finally pursue his dreams of traveling abroad. From that moment onwards, Arjun appeared less frequently at the shores where he used to go. Whenever others ventured out to fish during the nighttime, he would return home earlier than usual, or he would simply not show up at all. The sea, it seems, took notice of these changes, and so did his friends and companions who always had his best interests at heart. One fateful afternoon, they had to confront him. They began. "Arjun," they implored, "noticed how you have been pretending to yourself lately. Can't you just stop lying to yourself? Don't you ever believe everything you hear from the people around you? The sea is everything to us. Their words were heartfelt and full of loyalty. However, Arjun chose to speak from the truth. Arjun sighed. No, he said. I've already made up my mind. Fishing isn't just a job anymore. It's a challenge. How long will we keep on feeding on it? Our kids need proper schools. Hospitals cost a fortune. The future calls for more. That's what Ronnie always said, Arjun admitted. We need to figure out another way, or our families will suffer. That night, the ocean was rough. Nets stayed mostly unfolded. Boats stayed on the shore. And with time to think, his friends' voices joined. They chose to listen. That evening, they made the decision to visit Arjun at his humble abode. They stumbled upon Arjun at home, tucked away in his tiny garden, plucked ripe plantains from the ground, in pursuit of a juicy papaya. Life was simple and uneventful, but the struggle for survival was oh so fragile. Tea was served. Biscuits were shared with a tender touch. Silence filled the air. Suddenly, the question was asked, were you genuinely serious about pursuing an abroad career? Arjun gave a small, sweet smile. Yes, he hesitantly said. I have applied for a passport, he continued. It's a while away. While we all may fall sick someday, Arjun said, hospitals in this country are incredibly expensive. We all lack insurance. Rice prices rise with each passing day. Our children are growing, yet we cannot afford to feed them. So, tell me, who pays the bills when life becomes unbearable? No one answered the question, for deep down inside, they understood he was entirely correct. Once there was this night, when Arjun turned blank toward the darkness, he started thinking of rising costs and insurance, of the growing child whose chances of getting caught up just weren't fair. And what he knew was this: love alone wouldn't get him far. A change was knocking around the corner. So he looked inside and saw his wife and girl, who made his heart flutter. And with that realization, Arjun's nest was a little small, built on simple foundations. The roof wore tales of rain and patience. It didn't have much, but it had it all he needed. There are times where decisions are made without a loud argument, not hastily, but quietly, when a man realizes he's sometimes better off letting go. Arjun settled on the shore, grabbing his net, not with pride, but with loads of questions. His gaze wandered farther than the ocean surface. No, it was searching for answers. The ocean had changed Arjun since he was a young child. Every wave carried a story. Every sunrise brought hope plus toil, for as long as the sea came his way. But lately, it had started taking more than it gave. That night, Arjun placed his savings into his wife's hands. Keep this, he said. When I settle, I'll send more. He looked up at the roof. One day, I'll renovate this house. A ceiling. A better life. His wife smiled, strong and hopeful. And I'll work too, she said. So the burden isn't yours alone. That night, dreams were packed quietly, not into bags, but into hearts. He secured a passport and taught himself how to drive, making sure his family supported him throughout this challenging journey. For the first time in his life, he looked beyond the horizon, anticipating the challenges that awaited him in the world beyond. While the road ahead was inevitably more difficult than he had ever imagined, his wife's unwavering belief in him served as a guiding light, offering him the strength to endure. Watch out for the second episode of our story, where you will witness the trials and tribulations faced by Arjun as he ventures into the unknown.